Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is August 3rd, 2011. Let's get right into the charts here. It's going to be another interesting day. Let's start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures, and you'll see they're trading up actually by nearly 5 points this morning to 1252 and a quarter. We'll see how the futures play out. Very important to watch them. Yesterday we had a major rollover in the markets. I'll just scroll back the hands of time here, and you could easily see how the markets really just collapsed after having a little bit of a morning move, and then they just went right down into the close of the day. Dow finished down 265 points. The S&P was down 32, make that 33 points, and the Nasdaq Composite down 75 points. This morning we're getting a little bit of a bounce, not much of one, but nonetheless, futures are up about 5 points, and we'll see it where we go. Now, the catalyst for the move higher today is a few factors here that we have to watch for. The first is going to be the U.S. dollar index. Here you can see the U.S. dollar index really falling ever since about 3 o'clock in the morning, really falling sharply. And once the dollar goes down, everything else inflates. So you do got a little bit of a move higher in the U.S. dollar and a move lower in the U.S. dollar index this morning to start the day. We are getting a pop here, and just if we get a little bit more of a move, you'll see the futures on the S&P come down. So again, we got to watch for that, and the dollar relationship still very well intact. We'll see how that all plays out very, very soon. Now, a couple things. European Union looks like yields did go down a little bit on Italian and Spanish debt. Therefore, things are starting to calm down a little bit just in the short term. Again, the European problems are expected to continue really throughout the year, but they have calmed down in the short term. Now, one thing you want to watch for today is gold. Gold is making another big surge before the open this morning, trading up to around this 62.50 level, 62.70, 162.75 on GLD. Yesterday it closed at 161.50. Now you're getting a pullback in gold. So again, another move in gold. Anytime the European Union seems to run into problems, gold moves up. When the problems seem to calm down, gold will start to move down. But nonetheless, it is another new high for gold today. Now, silver, not quite the same move. Silver did trade up a little bit. Yesterday closed at 39.82. Today, you see gold, silver trading right at 39.80 after moving up this morning. It is coming back in. So, again, be careful on the precious metals right here. They have to really, form some kind of a pattern before you want to own them. Otherwise, they just continue to really move up on a daily basis on the problems out of Europe and the problems in the U.S., I guess, with debt. So it's very, very important to watch. Now, something I saw last night, which is pretty important, was the Shanghai index actually finished the night flat. It was basically unchanged on the session. Meanwhile, you had the Nikkei down 2%, the Hang Seng down nearly 2%, Australia index, which is the ASX, down over 2%, down 2.25%, and then you had the Sensex, which is India, down almost 1%. But the Shanghai was just, down 1 point, which is really a flat session if you look at the Shanghai, which held up very, very well last night. So watch these Chinese ADRs. They may have a little bit of strength to them. Some of them include Baidu. You'll see Baidu today is holding up pretty well. Closed at 152.92. Today it's trading at 153.50. But these stocks may have a little bit of strength to them if the market holds up. The market collapses, forget it. Everything is going to go down. So again, you watch the Chinese ADRs. They may have a little bit of strength, being that the Shanghai index held up pretty well last night. Now, there are a few stocks to talk about in the news this morning. Let's take a look at, we'll start with Garmin. Everybody knows the big GPS maker. Garmin is getting hit pretty sharply, trading down pretty sharply, and now getting a little bit of a bounce, trading at $28. But nonetheless, that's a big haircut for Garmin. Let's take a look at JVA. Everybody knows this one. This is Java, another coffee maker. And again, this one is having a little bit of a pop there, trading around $22 a share. GNet in the news this morning. This stock is getting a big, big bid. Closed yesterday around this $11.70 level. And today it is gapping up sharply higher. Global Traffic Network. So, but again, this one does look extended now. So just realize that. Has very good resistance up here. You had a May double top. If you take a look at the daily chart, to May, and you're going to see that you're right above that level now. So I can't expect too much more out of that stock. I would ultimately think it would have to probably stall out around there, but it looks like a legitimate gap up, so it may be strong for the day, but again, it's extended at this point. Let's take a look at MasterCard. MasterCard had a nice little move up and continues. So yesterday, MasterCard closed at $2.9850 a share. Today it is trading up around $307. So nice little move up for MasterCard. In sympathy to MasterCard, we'll watch Visa, which is not moving up, but nonetheless, keep that on your radar. Visa could be a mover if MasterCard really takes off to the upside. So we'll have to watch that one closely. Let's take a look at this AMAG. I'm not really familiar with this stock, but nonetheless, I do see it up in the pre-market, and it's a pretty decent move. This stock, this gap up is probably a real gap up because the stock has been brutalized on a daily chart. So it looks like a pretty strong gap up today. Respect that stock today if you are familiar and you do trade that name. Okay, really that's about everything that I'm seeing in the market. Again, we have Apple and Netflix. They're all holding up pretty well, but I'm not seeing any major moves out of those names, and we'll just have to see where this goes. So in any case, that's what we're looking at this morning. Be prepared for anything in this market. Futures are trading up a little bit more here, but again, you just never know what's going to come out of Europe. You just never know what's gonna happen here in the U.S. either. You did have the ADP job report released this morning at 8:15. It looked like it was a little bit better than expected. Nothing sensational, but the job report was a little bit better than expected, and it showed that we created 114 new U.S. private sector jobs in the month of July. Last month's ADP report, though, was so far off of what the government reported that nobody's really giving ADP much credit right now. So again, take this number with a grain of salt. You will have more economic data, I believe, out at 10 o'clock. So just be prepared for that. This could be a market moving number. And let me just exactly... What you're going to look for here at 10 o'clock will be the... you'll have factory orders, and you'll also have ISM services. So that could be a market mover right now. The market is sensitive to all news events. So watch the 10 o'clock news for a market moving event. Then you'll have crude inventories out at 10:30. I don't think crude inventory is going to be that big a deal. Crude is down this morning. So, just take that, note that. Crude is down this morning. But crude will react sometimes, just on an overall slowdown in the market. That looks to be why crude is lower today. But we'll have to just wait and see exactly how those 10 o'clock numbers come out. They could move the markets, all the major indexes. So be prepared for that and watch the 10 o'clock news, and we'll see how it plays out. But once again, futures are up $5.75 to $12.53 per contract, and we'll see if it can hold. But it's been a fragile market, and you got to just realize the European problems are not going away anytime soon. In fact, I think they're going to linger here throughout the rest of the year. With that said, everybody, have a great trading morning. Those of you in the chat room, we'll see you in the chat room at 9:30. Have a good morning now.